Hello everyone, welcome to all. Today we discuss the topic of synchronous machine. This is a third part video of a synchronous machine. Now we start with the rotation speed of the synchronous generator. By definition, the synchronous generator produces the electricity whose frequency is synchronized with the mechanical rotational speed. We know that the frequency of the generated voltage depends upon the number of field poles and the speed at which the field poles are rotated. On the complete cycle of the voltage is generated in an armature coil when the pair of the field pole passes all over the coil. Here we know that the P is equal to total number of pole in field winding. Small p is equal to pair of field poles. N is equal to speed of the field in RPM and small n is equal to speed of field pole in RPMs. While F is equal to frequency of generated voltage in Hertz. So we can say that n upon 60 is equal to small n and p upon 2 is equal to small p. In a one revolution of a rotor, the armature coil is cut by p by 2 north pole and p by 2 south pole. Since one cycle is generated in the armature coil when the pair of the field pole passes over the coil, the number of cycles generated in one revolution of the rotor will be equal to the number of pairs of the pole. That is, the number of cycle per revolution is equal to small p and number of revolution per second is equal to small n. So we can say that the frequency is equal to number of cycle per second. So we can say that the number of cycle upon revolution multiplied by revolution upon second. So frequency is equal to small p into small n. Since we know that the small n is equal to n upon 60 and small p is equal to p by 2. So we can write that the p upon 120 into n equation gives the relation between the number of pole, speed and frequency. Here the synchronous speed Ns is equal to 120 F upon P. So the equation by using the rotor speed N bar constant relationship with the field pole and the frequency of the generator voltage in the armature winding. The speed given by this equation is called as synchronous speed Ns. The machine which run at the synchronous speed is called as synchronous machine. A synchronous machine is an AC machine which is the rotor moves at the speed which bar a constant relationship to the frequency to the generated voltage in the armature winding. The number of pole in the machine. The standard form of the frequency in India is 50 Hz. To calculate the speed of the alternator which has 4 pole and frequency is 50 Hz, the speed given by the relation n suffix s is equal to 120 f upon p. Here f is equal to 50 Hz and p is equal to 4 pole. So the n suffix s is equal to 120 into 50 upon 4. So we can write that. So the result is 1500 rpm. The speed of the alternator 4 pole is 1500 rpm and maximum speed of the alternator is 2 pole is 3000 rpm at 50 Hz frequency. Now we discuss the induced voltage in 3-phase set of coil in synchronous machine. Here we know that if we put the 3-phase winding around the field of the rotor everyone has a N suffix C, no turns. This assembly is shown in given figure. The voltage produced in every winding will have a similar magnitude, but this will be out of the phase in 120 degree. Here the induced voltage in every winding is given E suffix AA into T is equal to N suffix C 5 omega cos omega into omega m into T. The second equation is E into double B into T is equal to N C 5 omega m into cos omega m T minus 120. And third equation is E C dash into T is equal to N C 5 omega m into cos omega m into T minus 240. So the 3-phase current can produce the field in the stator, and the resultant the field can produce the 4-phase voltage in the stator of the machine. Now in the RMS voltage of the 3-phase stator, the maximum value of the voltage in any winding of the 3-phase stator is given E max is equal to N C 5 into omega m, and as we know that the omega is equal to 2 pi f. So the maximum voltage equation can be written as E max is equal to 2 pi n C 5 into f. So the value of the RMS voltage of any phase, the 3-phase stator, is EA is equal to 2 pi upon root 2 into NC 5 into f. So we can write that the EA is equal to root 2 into pi upon NC into 5 into f. The value of root mean square RMS of the machine reply the connection of the winding, either these are the star connected or delta. If the connection of the winding is star, then the terminal voltage will be root 2 of EA. If the winding are connected in a delta, the assembly, then the terminal voltage will be EA. In the internal generated voltage of the synchronous generator, the magnitude of the voltage induced in the given sector in phase was found. EA is equal to root 2 pi NC 5 into F. This is known as main equation. The voltage here, the voltage EA depends on the flux 5 and in the machine. The frequency or speed of the rotation, the machine construction for the synchronous machine, the main equation sometimes rewritten as a simple form that emphasizes the quantities that the variable during the machine operation. It is EA is equal to K phi into omega. This is, we can write the second equation where the K is a constant representing the construction of the machine. If the omega is expressed in the electrical radian per second, then the K is equal to NC upon root 2. If omega is expressed in the mechanical radian per second, then we can write that the K is equal to NC into P upon root 2. So we can write that the EA is equal to K phi into omega. The internal generated voltage EA is directly proportional to the phi and the speed. But if the phi itself depends on the current flowing on the rotor, the field current. Since the field current IF is related to the flux phi in a manner are shown in this figure. Since EA is directly proportional to the flux phi and EA is related to the field current IA in shown in second number figure. The magnitude of internal generated voltage induced in the given sector is stator is EA is equal to root 2 pi NC F into phi, where K is a constant representing the construction of the machine. The phi is the flux in it and omega is the rotation speed. Since the flux in the machine depends on the field current through it, the internal generated voltage is a function of the rotor field current. Now we go for the equivalent circuit of the synchronous generator. We know that the voltage is the internal generated voltage induced in a one phase of the synchronous generator. However, this is not a usual voltage that appear at the terminal of the generator. In reality, the internal voltage EA is the same as output voltage V of the phase only when there is no armature current flowing on the stator. This factor causes the difference between EA and V. The armature reaction, which is the distortion of the air gap magnetic field by the current flowing in the stator. The second point is self-induced inductance is the armature or stator winding. The third one is the resistance of the armature winding. The armature reaction has the largest impact in the difference between EA and V. The voltage EA is induced when the rotor is spinning. If the generator terminal attached to the load to current flow, the three-phase current flowing in the stator will produce its own magnetic field in the machine. This stator magnetic field distorts the magnetic field produced by the rotor, resulting the change in the phase voltage. This effect is known as armature reaction because the current in the armature or stator affects the magnetic field which produced in it. In a first place is here we show the figure of equivalent circuit. Here in this figure to illustrate the two-pole rotor springing inside the three-phase stator when there is no load connection in the machine. In this figure, the develop of the model of the armature reaction. Figure A, rotating magnetic field produced in the internal generated voltage EA. The second is the resulting voltage produced in the lagging current flow when connected in a lagging load. The stator current produced its own magnetic field is Bs, which is produced in its own voltage E is the stator winding of the machine. The field Bs adds to Br, distorting it into the B net, and voltage is E add on the EA and producing V5 at the output of the phase. In the internal generated voltage EA is produced by the rotor magnetic field B suffix R, whose direction conclude with the peak value of EA. The voltage will be positive out of the top conductors and negative into the bottom conductors of the stator. When the generator is not connected to the load, there is no current flow in the armature. The phase voltage V will be equal to EA. When the generator is connected to the lagging load, the peak current will occur at the angle behind the peak voltage value. The current flowing to the stator winding produce the magnetic field is called as B suffix S, whose direction is given by the right hand rule are shown in figure. The voltage is produced in the stator E start by the stator magnetic field is Bs. The total voltage in the phase is the sum of the internal voltage. Here the EA and armature reaction voltage E start is, we can write that V suffix phi is equal to EA plus E start. The net magnetic field B net is equal to the sum of the rotor and stator magnetic field. So we can write that B net is equal to Br plus Bs. The angle of the resulting magnetic field B net conclude with the one of the net voltage V. The angle of the voltage E state is 90 degree behind one of the maximum current IA. Also, the voltage E start is directly proportional to IA. Here, if we proportionally constant armature reaction voltage can be expressed as E state is equal to minus J x into I suffix A. The voltage of the phase is V5 is equal to EA minus J x into IA. Here the figure show the armature reaction voltage can be modeled in the as an inductor phase in series with the internal generated voltage. When the effect of the stator winding self inductance LA and corresponding reactance is X into A, X suffix A, and resistance is R suffix A are added, the relationship becomes V into suffix phi is equal to EA minus J X into IA minus J XA into IA minus RA into IA. When the effect of the armature reaction and self inductance are combined, the synchronous reactance of the generator is X suffix S is equal to X plus X into A. The final equation becomes V5 is equal to EA minus J X into suffix S I suffix A minus RA into IA. Here the figure show the illustrate the equivalent circuit of the three-phase synchronous generator. The rotor field circuit is supplied by the DC power which is modeled by the coil of the inductance and resistance in series. The adjustable resistance RADJ controls the field current. The internal generated voltage for each phase is shown in series with the synchronous reactance X suffix S and the stator winding resistance is R suffix A. The three phases are identical except that the voltage and current are 120 apart of the angle. Here the figure show the illustrate that the phases can be either star or delta connected. For a star connection, when they are connected in star, the terminal voltage Vt is related to the phase voltage V phi. By we can write that the Vt is equal to 1.732 into 5. And for delta connection, when they are connected in delta, the terminal voltage Vt is related to the phase voltage V phi by Vt is equal to V phi. Since the three phases are identical except that their phase angle are different, the per phases equivalent circuit is used. They are shown in this figure. The phase per equivalent circuit of the synchronous generator, the internal field circuit resistance and external variable resistance have been combined in a single resistor RF. Now we discuss the phasor diagram of synchronous generator. We know that the phasor diagram is very significant factor of the power system analysis, as the output of the synchronous generator is alternating current, so it can easily be explained by the phasor diagram. If we draw the output voltage and current in such a geometrically way, they show the some relation among them. The resultant diagram is called phasor diagram. In the we discuss the synchronous generator in equivalent circuit. If we first understand what is phasor. In the electrical power system, there are the three main types of load. First one is resistive, second one is capacitive, and third one is inductive. We will connect all these three load with the synchronous generator, and we see the effect will drawn in their phasor diagram. The phasor diagram of the synchronous generator at unity power factor. The given diagram shows the relation among the parameters like phase voltage V5, internal generated voltage EA, armature current IA, synchronous reactance XS, and some other factors by phasor diagram when the generator is working with the resistive load. We have unity power factor. Here the first figure is a resistive load have a unity power factor. In this graph we can say that the V5 is equal to EA minus JXS into IA minus RA into IA. We can observe from the above given equation that the internal generated voltage EA are be able to equal the phase or terminal voltage of the generator. If we deduct the voltage losses due to the armature resistance and synchronous reactance from it. All these parameters and their facts are shown in above given diagram. The phasor diagram of the synchronous generator at lagging or leading power factor also. In a given diagram, we have construct the phasor diagram of the synchronous generator when it relates the inductive load. In this case, the power factor will be lagging. They are shown in second figure. This is also phasor diagram of the synchronous generator when it's connect with the capacitive load. In this case, the power factor will be lagging. They are shown in the third number figure. If we compare the lagging and leading power factor phasor diagram in a synchronous generator, we can conclude that to get the specific value of the phasor or terminal voltage and armature current, we will require a larger amount of internal generated voltage EA for inductive load than the capacitive load. So we will have to provide a larger field current at the rotor in case of the inductive load than the leading load to generate some amount of terminal voltage. Here we know that the EA is equal to K5 into omega. In this equation, EA is the internal generated voltage, K is a constant, phi is a flux, and omega is the speed rotation of the rotor. In this equation, omega should not be non-variant in the keep of the frequency constant. For the given amount of the field current at a rotor and current consumed by the load, the magnitude of the phase voltage will be less for the inductive load and high for the capacitive load. In a synchronous machine, either it is a motor or generator. The value of the synchronous reactance is higher than the armature winding resistance. So, sometimes R suffix A is ignored for the quality observation of the voltage changing. But in case of a different mathematical problem, RA should be considered. In a real synchronous machine, the synchronous reactance is normally much larger than the winding resistance RA. So, RA is often neglected in the quantitative study of the voltage variation. For accurate numerical result, RA must be considered. Now, the next point is synchronous generator operating at alone. The performance of the synchronous generator with different load relies on the power factor of the load and its working condition, either it's working separately or in some other generator. There are many factors affecting the working of the synchronous generator. The behavior of the synchronous generator varies is greatly under load depending on the power factor of the load and on whether the generator is working alone or in parallel with other synchronous generator. Although most of the synchronous generator in the world operate as a part of the larger power system. We start our discussion assuming the synchronous generator work as alone. If we increase the connected load, then there will be automatically incremented in the active power P or reactive Q in of a generator. By the increment of the load also increase the value of current that used by the load is called load current IL. The field winding of the resistance is not varied, so the field current also same value due to these two constants. The flux generated by the field current also constant. Subsequently, the prime mover also moving the rotor of the generator with the same velocity. Here the figure shows the synchronous generator operating at alone. As the field current is current, flux and field resistance are constant, so the internal generated voltage EA, we also write that EA is equal to K into 5 into omega. As per the internal generated voltage is constant, if we vary the load of the field and affect the variation of the load, we will draw the different load phasor diagram, discuss in them in next slide. To study variation effect of the load, we connect three different load: inductive, capacitive and resistive. Then see the result of by phasor diagram. Synchronous generator working on the inductive load, while the generator is connected with the inductive circuit, the power factor will be lagging. If we increase the amount of the load connected as smaller PF due to the increased load and armature current is also increased, but its angle phi with the terminal voltage phi has similar value before changing. So the armature reaction voltage is also increased, but still has a similar angle before its increase. So we can write that the EA is equal to V suffix phi plus J x into S in equal to I and into IA. Here Jxs into Ia must draw M to V suffix 5 and Ea at angle of 0 degree. It is the factor that has the same value as before load variation. If we make the phasor diagram among V5, Ea and Jxs into Ia, so we can observe that there is a one point at Jxs Ia that can parallel parallel to previous position as before load increment. The resultant of the phasor diagram are shown. Here the first figure is synchronous generator working with inductive load. In the synchronous generator working with the resistive load, now if we connect the resistive load on the generator from the given phasor diagram, we can observe that the value of the terminal or phases V5 will decreases. They are shown in figure. The generator working with the capacitive load, let's suppose now the load is connected with the generator is capacitive, the value of the phasor voltage will increase this time. You can see the capacitive load effect in the given figure. By analyzing the effect of three load on the generator, we conclude the three facts they are described. First one is, if we connect the inductive load with the synchronous generator V5 and terminal voltage Vt will decrease largely. The second point is, if the case of the resistive load, there will be a slightly decrease in the V0 and terminal voltage Vt. The third point is, if the load is a capacitive, then the V5 and terminal voltage Vt will increase. Here also shown the synchronous generator working with capacitive load figure. The voltage regulation of the synchronous generator, we can very easily compare the voltage performance of the two generators by their voltage regulation. For the formula of the voltage regulation is, we can write that the VR is equal to Vn minus Vf into 100. In this equation upon Vfi. In this equation, Vni is the no load voltage of the generator and Vfi is the rated voltage of the generator. If the synchronous generator is connected with the inductive load, its voltage regulation are highly positive. If the load is a resistive, then the voltage regulation is less positive. If the load is a capacitive, then voltage regulation is negative. Usually, it is necessary to maintain the voltage level provided to the load, either load itself is changing or not. To keep the voltage constant, changes in the internal generated voltage, if the load is changing, we can write that EA is equal to K5 into omega. The speed of the constant, we can control the internal generated voltage by speed changing at option is to vary flux of the rotor. Now let's take an example. Let's assume that the inductive load is connected with the generator as we have discussed above in terminal voltage with increase of the inductive load. To again maintain the voltage to least value, decrease the field resistance. To decrement the field resistance will increase the field current, which increase the flux. The flux increment will increase the terminal voltage EA, which will increase the phase voltage and terminal voltage also. We can summarize this explanation as the decrement of the field resistance will increase the value of the field current. The next point is, to increment the field current will increase the flux. The next is, the flux increment will increase the internal generated voltage EA. The increment of the internal generated voltage will increase the phase voltage. If we have to increase the terminal voltage, then do all the steps from the first in list. It is very easy to maintain the terminal voltage with the change in the load by just controlling the field current.